Listen, if you've ever woken up at 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling, wondering why your life feels like a half-baked superhero origin story, full of unrealized potential, awkward team dynamics, and that one coworker who just won't stop sabotaging the group project, then Dispatch is the chaotic mirror you didn't ask for but desperately need. Released in 2025 by a scrappy studio of Telltale veterans, this episodic interactive narrative isn't just a game, it's a gut-punch reminder that heroism isn't about capes and laser eyes, it's about wrangling a bunch of foul-mouthed ex-villains while your own dreams rust away in a garage. I'll be your reluctant dispatcher here, guiding you through the laughs, the lows, and the "why won't this cursor cooperate" meltdowns. By the end, you'll either be hooked on its heartfelt redemption arcs or plotting to sue for emotional whiplash. Either way, let's dive in, because if Robert Robertson can herd cats in tights, you can survive this review. Picture this, you're Robert Robertson III, the third-generation heir to the Mecha Man legacy. Your family's been saving Torrance, California from cosmic threats since your granddad first squeezed into that clunky robotic suit. It's glamorous, right? Punching kaiju, dodging energy blasts, living the dream. Until one fateful showdown with your arch-nemesis, the Shroud, leaves your mech in smoldering scraps and you, penniless on a barstool, nursing a hangover and a hero-sized identity crisis. Enter the Superhero Dispatch Network, SDN. Think Uber for caped crusaders, but with more HR violations and 0 sick days. They offer you a desk job, coordinating the Z-Team, a ragtag squad of reformed supervillains fresh out of the Phoenix program rehab. These aren't your polished Avengers. They're the discount bin rejects, guys who used to rob banks for fun and now grumble about fetching grandma's escaped tiger from a parallel dimension. The story unfolds over 8 bite-sized episodes, each clocking in around 45 to 60 minutes, perfect for that just one more binge session that turns into a full season spiral. It's structured like a workplace sitcom crossed with a gritty superhero drama. Cold opens with explosive action flashbacks, dispatch shifts where chaos reigns, and cliffhanger closers that leave you fist-pumping or face-palming. Robert's arc is the emotional core, a guy who's always defined himself by his suit, now learning that real power comes from pep talks over crackly radios and tough calls like firing a teammate who's more liability than legend. The Z-Team steals the show, though. Punch Up, the hot-headed brawler with a mouth foul than a sewer grate, Invisigal, the invisible punk rocker grappling with her useless powers and a villainous family curse, Prism, the haughty influencer whose light blasts double as Instagram filters, and a rotating cast of oddballs like the perennially damp Waterboy or the pint-sized Einstein-level genius Chase, voiced with gravelly wisdom that makes you forget he's basically a black grandpa in a lab coat. Their backstories drip with tragedy masked by crass jokes, abusive upbringings, addiction relapses, the soul-crushing grind of villainy turned heroic drudgery. It's The Office meets Invincible, but with thick jokes that land like haymakers and heart-to-hearts that hit like kryptonite.
What elevates Dispatch from just another choice-driven yarn is its unflinching dive into the ugly underbelly of heroism. Superheroics as a job? Brutal. We're talking burnout, office politics, and the soul-eroding reality that saving the world pays in ramen noodles and regret. Robert's not some quippy Batman, he's an everyman with Aaron Paul's voice, that signature rasp turning exhaustion into empathy. "I'm not a hero anymore," he mutters in one early scene, staring at his reflection in a dingy microwave door. And damn if it doesn't echo every time you've clocked out feeling like a fraud. The game doesn't shy from the dark. Ex-villains relapse into sabotage, romantic entanglements explode into HR nightmares, and that found family vibe? It's forged in the fire of bar brawls, taco-fueled aftercare sessions, and awkward housewarmings where someone inevitably farts loud enough to summon the neighbors. Yet, amid the mess, there's this stubborn optimism, a theme of second chances that sneaks up on you. Flambe, the fire-starting asshole who torches everything, including his own karaoke redemption, belts out a hilariously vulgar twist on a pop song questioning Robert's endowments, only to crack open later about his fear of fading into irrelevance. It's ugly, yeah, sweaty, swear-filled, and stupidly human, but it's the kind of ugly that makes you root for these dorks harder than for any polished Avenger. Humor's the secret sauce here, a cocktail of snarky banter, situational absurdity, and that American quippy style that either has you cackling or cringing into your controller. Lines like Punch-Up's foul-mouthed rants like, "This job's shittier than my last prison cell," or Prism's influencer shade, "Darling, if I can't post it, it didn't happen." Keep the tone light even as the drama thickens. The writing's sharp as a batarang, witty without being smug, touching without tipping into sap. But let's not sugarcoat, it's not all zingers. Some gags veer juvenile, like the scatological punchlines that feel ripped from a frat house script, and the cultural references, endless nods to the 80s synthwave and LA traffic hell, might leave non-Yanks scratching their heads. Still, when it clicks, like a team-wide taco binge devolving into a heartfelt circle jerk about failures, it's comedy gold that masks the brutality of watching these broken toys try to reassemble themselves. Now on to the gameplay, where Dispatch struts its stuff and occasionally trips over its own cape. At its heart, this is an interactive narrative, so expect 70% cinematic splendor and 30% press A to emote. Dialogue choices are the bread and butter. 3 flavors of snark, kindness, or prickliness, often boiling down to, say the thing but with Robert's vibe dialed up or down. They're flavored brilliantly. No binary good-evil here. It's all shades of one exhausted dude's personality. Pick the prickly option with Invisigal, and she'll remember it in a later sparring match, turning vulnerability into a punk rock standoff. Choices do branch. Romance paths with Invisigal, the fiery bad girl arc, or Blonde Blazer, the earnest mentor vibe, unlock bespoke scenes. Roster cuts ripple into team morale, and endgame stats can nudge toward good or bittersweet closures. The credits even flash community choice percentages, tempting replays like a siren's call. It's empowering in that your words matter way, making Robert feel like your washed-up hero. But here's the hook that sinks deeper, the dispatching minigame. Oh boy. You're plumped on a glitchy console overlooking a stylized LA map, Southland sprawl dotted with crime pings from cat in a tiger suit to kaiju loose in Koreatown. Assign Z-teamers based on stats. Combat for brawls, charisma for de-escalations, intel for hacks, factor in travel chimes, rest cooldowns, and synergies. Pair punch-up with Invisigal for a rage invisible combo that shreds odds, success nets XP for upgrades, boost Prism's light clones, or teach Waterboy to weaponize his eternal dampness. And failures, they sting, scripted or not, breeding tension as your team gripes over comms. It's like Papers, Please meets The Sims, but with superpowers and swears.
Yet for every triumphant dispatch, there's a brutal snag. The UI? A fiddly nightmare on controllers. D-pad scrolling through a busy map feels like hurting pixels with a toothpick. And that cursor? It vanishes like Invisible on a bad day, leaving you fumbling as timers tick. Hacking interludes start cute, guide a polyhedron through node mazes, but ramp to frantic fever dreams. Evade antivirus eyes, input patterns under duress, retry limits taunting your sanity. QTE brawls and cutscenes, stylish rhythm romps with flashbang flair, but they're optional illusions. Nail them for minor stat bumps, or skip and watch the animation anyway. It underscores the game's ugliest truth. You're often a spectator in your own story. Major beats railroad ahead, choices more flavor than fork, turning impactful into remembered but irrelevant. Replay an episode and poof, 3 paths converge on the same crapsack outcome. It's frustratingly passive, like directing a play where the actors improv but the script's ironclad. And the sound? Muted punches and explosions that thud like wet noodles, undermining those epic clashes. Technically, Dispatch shines where it counts. Built on Unreal Engine 4, it blends 2D comic pop with seamless 3D cutscenes, vibrant shadows, fluid animations that evoke a binge-worthy Cartoon Network glow-up, fights burst with kinetic energy, light flares, invisible dodges, mech flashbacks that pop like fireworks. Voice acting's the crown jewel. Aaron Paul's dry everyman snark anchors it all, backed by Critical Role Dream Team. Laura Bailey's gravelly Invisigal steal scenes, and streamer cameos. Jackseptice's punch-up is profane perfection, Moist Critical's deadpan flambe a riot. The soundtrack? A synthwave banger laced with indie rock tracks that swell during cinematics, turning bar brawls into anthems. Performance is rock solid on PC and PS5. No crashes, buttery frame rates, but that muted mix drags it down, like watching a blockbuster with the volume on whisper. So, is Dispatch the brutal savior 2025 needed? Hell yes, and no. It's a triumphant gut check on failure's family, where ugly truths, powerless despots, relapse risks, and tropey romances forge something profoundly funny and felt. The highs, those laugh-out-loud team-ups, the quiet you got this radios that mend more than Max, outweigh the lows, like a UI that fights you harder than the Shroud. As a guy who's rage quit lesser narratives for less, I binged this in 2 fevered nights, ugly crying over credit stats that proved my prickly Robert wasn't alone. It's not perfect. The rails chafe, the interactivity teases more than delivers, and by episode 8, the formula fatigues like an overworked hero. But damn, it leaves you happier. Flawed folks fumbling toward better, one dispatch tiger at a time. If you're craving a superhero tale that hugs like a bear trap, tight, toothy, transformative, grab it. Just keep a towel handy for the emotional sweat.
Your inner dispatcher will thank me or curse me. Either way, game's on.